Welcome back to another exciting edition of Rake in Position. We're finally in here. No thanks to, I wasn't going to say it out loud. I don't want to lose our sponsorship. But we're having technical difficulties. I'm having technical difficulties again. So I'm excited to be in here, ready to talk baseball. Another week of baseball. Things are looking up. I'm excited. And I'm Aaron, the host.
Nobody knows what time we start this, so if you don't say anything, they wouldn't know about your
That's true.
technical issues. But
I'm grumpy.
we had our first games over the weekend. I guess I'm Joe, the groundskeeper. We had our first games over the weekend. I had a hot dog, squirted ketchup into my eye, burned like crazy. I guess I should have used a less salty condiment, but I guess hindsight 2020.
Oh, I fell for it. I thought it's a real story. Like I could totally see Joe getting a ketchup injury. If anybody I know is getting a ketchup injury, it's Joe. So that was a good one. I fell for
That's 100% true. Um, Again, like I've told you guys many times, it's always tough to follow that. So I'm Jay Lee the Rover.
it. Well, we're excited, guys. It's a little over 2 weeks now into the season, and we are debuting the first official rankings of 2025. So here we
Yeah,
go. I'll give you
buddy.
some stats here. 7 teams got votes tonight.
I already forgot my votes.
6 are from the National League. Only one AL team got votes,
Yeah, that's
Wow.
crazy.
which is
Who
crazy.
who voted for that team? Because they're not smart.
2 of us did, so I'm not sure. Somebody voted with me. All right, so tied for fourth with 4 points apiece. I gave Giants the 4th spot. The Tigers got the 5th spot. Excuse me, I looked at that wrong.
I could see the Tigers.
Yeah, that's right. Because the Giants got a 3rd place vote and a 5th place vote, and the Tigers got 2 fourths. So I gave the Giants the tiebreaker because they actually received a 3rd place vote, which I think
All
that was
right, all
me.
right.
And then there's a little bit of a gap to the top 3. We got the Dodgers in the 3 spot. They got a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 5th. Coming in strong in the first rankings of the year, the Cubbies with 2 seconds and a 4th. And a clean sweep to start us off in the 1 spot is everybody's favorite German whales, the Padres.
The Cardinals. That's crazy. Oh,
I like it.
So just missing were the Mets. They got a single 3rd place vote. And then the Phillies got a single 5th place vote. So the 2 teams on the outside looking in. So Padres won, clean sweep. Cubs got 2 second place votes, are in second. Dodgers got a second place vote, came into 3rd. Giants, Tigers tying at the bottom. What we got? So everybody voted Padres. Not much to add there, but what are you guys thinking so far about them?
well, while we were waiting for your technical difficulties, me and Joe were. Oh, go ahead, Joe. You have something you want to say? Oh, you're
You're
silent
lagging a
now.
little bit on my screen.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
not
my
sure who's
bad.
lagging. You're both off.
I can hear you. Can you
Look
hear me?
at look at Aaron and talk to me. No, what I was gonna say, I'm glad they didn't trade one of their starting pitchers away. Um, I hope they're not still looking to do that, but I've liked their pitching. And that's even with Dylan Cease, as maybe Jay Lee was getting to mention, like not doing well. But as I made my rankings, I love the run differential. Um, San Diego for our Spanish listeners, they're killing it, and then they got a couple members of their lineup killing it. So I like their pitching though, mostly is why I put them number 1.
I'm the opposite. You play. That offense is looking pretty sharp. Obviously, my boy Fernando Tatis leading the way. But even Xander Bogaerts batting over 300. And then Manny Machado being Manny, not really hitting home runs, but I mean, still batting 317. So, and then the pitching on top of that, like Joe alluded to. But I saw a funny stat that the San Diego Padres are 13-3, which is what they wish the Los Angeles Chargers could be.
Nice.
Wah,
So it was a dig at the football team there. So
Nice. Yeah, I don't know how good the offense will be. It'll be fine. Tatis is on a tear right now. I don't know what if Manny's a superstar anymore. Bogart's definitely is not a superstar anymore.
Merrill's
But
going to
they
win
got a pretty
MVP.
high floor and they play good defense. And yeah, like I said, like
Yeah.
Joe said, they kept the rotation intact, which is nice because it's kind of thin. Like with Musgrove and Waldrop both hurt. They need the guys that they have. So good for them for not giving up before the season started. And it's looking good. So then we had the Cubbies, might be the surprise team for us. I think, all picked them to win the Central by default, not to be this good this early on. So I'll make you guys talk about the Cubbies a little bit.
ugh.
We hope they lose. Next. No, I
Fair
would
enough.
say, I mentioned I think they're number one in run
Oh yeah, we
differential.
Yeah,
Um,
Jared's super
and,
laggy, listeners. So we're sorry if it sounds weird. He keeps freezing on our end too.
and they've scored an astronomical amount of runs. So, um, I think they're still win the Central. Their offense will slow down a little bit. They've had some pitching injuries, which, makes you worry about a playoff run, but hey, we're still super early, but I I mean they were the favorites to win it and they're kind of looking like it right now. I will say Brendan Donovan is 4 for 4 tonight and is now batting 390, and the Cardinals don't look terrible.
Don't look terrible. Terrible. The one thing about the Cubs, I put them in the two spot. Which one of you put them in the two spot as well? You guys
I
remember?
did.
You did. The one thing that put them in the two spot for me was they're doing this early hot start and they haven't played anybody in the Central yet. They've played the Dodgers, the Rangers, the Padres, and they're up there in wins with those guys and haven't gotten to beat up on the NL Central yet. So if they can hold their own and play this well and get outside their division, maybe they're quite a bit better than everybody else in the division. So it'll be interesting to see. But they've had a real tough schedule and it hasn't faced them. So I like it. Then we've got Dodgers and Giants. Talk about the AL West out there. Of course, we didn't even have the Diamondbacks in this conversation. So talk more about the AL West, Dodgers, Giants, and that fun battle so far.
You say AL West or NL West?
NL West, my
you mean the
apologies.
NL?
NL West, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I had the Dodgers on the list and the Giants not on the list, and I know the Giants are one game ahead of them, a game and a half actually, and the Dodgers have given up 74 runs and scored 74 runs. Uh, I just, uh, I just still think they're definitely the favorite to win the division and win it all. So I still had them on my list. Where'd they come in overall? Third on our rankings?
Yep.
I had him fifth. Yeah, I had him fifth, but they're still loaded and stacked, right? They must not be hitting on all cylinders to be where they're at, but
Yeah.
there's no reason they don't get there.
Am I still chunking?
Now you're good right now.
Not at the moment.
No, thank the Lord himself. I think I put the Giants higher just because I did not want to vote for the Dodgers. I think
Hey,
it's case in point, nothing crazy. Because then I looked at the Giants' stats and I'm not sure how they're 12-4.
Yeah.
Jung Ho Lee is the only guy that's really batting. I mean, he's batting 352, so he's tearing it up. Um, their pitching is decent, but nothing crazy. So I think sorry, Cody. I think I just had to give it to the other teams because I'm tired of talking about the Dodgers.
Fair enough. And then the only AL team to get any votes was the Tigers. Somebody had them fourth with me. But who wants to claim they vote for Tigers? Joe
I had
got
the
him on
Tigers in
there.
there.
Had to get one AL team in there. I felt like just surely there's one, and the big part of it right now is Spencer Torkelson is actually doing what he was supposed to do 3 years ago. So if he is finally hitting his ceiling, that'll be huge help for him this year.
Yeah, and I'm all about the pitching, and I'm looking at it right now. But who? So they're second in runs against, so they're pitching really well. Tariq Skubal, Cardinals will probably sign him. So, but who do you think is number one in runs against? As in, they've limited the opponent to the least amount of runs.
Oh man.
So if
Uh,
Detroit is number two, who's number one?
Mm,
For a hint, you need to pick the team you think is absolutely not number one.
Marlins.
The Marlins are in the National League.
Oh, American League. Okay.
Just AL, yeah. Sorry.
Angels.
Nope.
yeah, the
Not even
Athletics.
close. Nope. Not even close. The Chicago White Sox
Ooh,
No,
have
man.
don't
allowed
believe it.
in the same amount of games, pretty much, or the same amount of games as the Tigers, 15.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't believe it.
check it out. Check it out, listeners. I mean, they'll probably give up
Also,
20 tonight, but
also, I see why you voted for the Tigers because Javier Baez is actually batting over 200.
That's the key right there.
that's worth it, right?
That's at least worth a couple votes for sure.
So no AL team has double-digit wins. It's kind of
Kind of crazy.
beating each other up, I guess. But yeah, the Tigers probably look like the best AL team right now.
Yep, it's good. There wasn't a whole lot of news really since last time we talked about. Of course, all the signings and trades and all that aren't taking
I
place right now. We covered all the extensions, but I saw an interesting factoid about today's Pirates matchup. And so
Aaron,
I've
real
got a
quick,
trivia question for
hold
you
that
guys.
thought. Hold that trivia. Because I gave love to somebody else, and I want to talk about it just for a second. I
Oh,
think
okay.
we got
Go
at
for
least,
it.
we got at least, oh, my computer did the hand thing.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
Mine won't do it anymore.
who, I mean, at least one of you are a hater, but who's number one in runs against in the National League, giving up the least amount of runs?
The least amount?
Uh, Cardinals.
The Phillies.
Nope and nope. This team is 20 plus runs lower than both of those, and they are currently in first place in the NL East.
Oh, the Mets. Yeah.
Oh,
The New York Mets pitching. I don't think anybody saw that. And again, we're less than 20 games into the season, but I gave them a fifth place vote. So I just wanted to throw that in there. They're looking decent, I guess.
Yeah, I thought about them, but I just don't think that pitching's for real. Sure, they all had two good starts. Um,
Probably
I
right.
almost put the Phillies in there instead of the Tigers, but
I think
yeah,
I did.
yeah. Somebody gave the Phillies a fifth place, so must have been you, Gary.
Aaron, if you could, you have some Pirates trivia for us. If you could speak like a pirate as you ask that question, that'd be great. I think our
Mhm.
listeners would enjoy that.
Our mateys, well, this trivia ain't for the Pirates, but
Ah,
today we've got the first ever mono. I can't do it. That hurts. So today, Paul Skeens was thrown to Henry Davis. What is significant about them being the battery together? It's never
they're
happened. This situation has never happened ever in the big leagues.
they're both going to sign $700 million contracts with Dodgers.
That could be. I'm about a future fortune teller.
Paul Skeens and Henry Davis.
Hmm.
They share a
Of
birthday.
course, Henry Davis got recalled back to the majors after their two catchers, collided in that brilliant play against the Cardinals in front of home plate where the Cardinals
And still
runner
got him
still got
out. Yeah.
out because the other catcher was playing first base.
Can you give
I
us like a
said, I
slight
said,
hint?
I said same birthday. I don't know.
Same birthday. Okay, it's close. It has to do with their college pedigree. Maybe that'll help you out. I can tell you're not getting it. It's the first time a number one overall pitcher has pitched to a number one catcher. They're both drafted 1-1 in their respective drafts. And it's
Yeah.
the
See, I
first
was
time a
going.
first overall pick has pitched to a first overall catcher, which I thought was kind of cool.
Uh,
So it got me thinking, and I've got a fun trivia for you guys. You guys work as a team here. One question, talking about first overall picks. There have been, and I think we've discussed this a little bit before, talking about Hall of Fame, but let's recap it. There have been three. There are three Hall of Famers who were drafted first overall in their respective drafts. Only three guys who have been picked 1-1
hmm.
have made it to the Hall of Fame. Can you name them?
We have talked about this. Is Chipper
I
in the hall
thought maybe
yet?
we had. Go
Chipper in the
ahead.
hall?
Yeah.
Is that one?
Chipper's one. He's the most recent, drafted in 1990. The other two were drafted before him.
Can you tell us roughly when they were drafted?
87 and 77.
It was is Griffey a 1-1, Jay Lee?
Griffey
Yeah,
was the
that was the only
87.
one I was thinking of.
Yep.
And you
The other
said
one was
77?
1970
Yep.
drafted.
1977.
Oh, 1977. So let's say he got to the league in 80 and he played till 99.
Yeah, he played a long
Pete
time, at least 20 years.
Pete Rose.
Okay. Joe, you got a
Shoot.
guess?
No, that's too late, Jay Lee.
Yeah, it's too late.
Um,
Or guessing.
Jeff Kent. That's wrong too.
No, that's wrong.
Harold Baines,
No,
the
that's
good old wrong. Harold Baines
No, no,
is the
no,
number
no.
Ah.
1-1.
Oh no, that's wrong. That's too early. That's too late.
Hey, that's how I feel when you guys make fun of my immaculate grids.
We talked about Harold the other day when Sean was on, and it felt like an appropriate time to
I like
name
that.
drop him again. Harold Baines, King Griffey Jr., and Chipper Jones, the only ones so far to be drafted first overall, make the Hall of Fame.
Well, Bryce
There
Harper
you
will
go.
join some point.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like people have been like, "Oh, Strasburg slam dunk." Nope. You know, Harper most likely, yeah, but
Most
it's
likely
tough.
Yeah, I
he could quit right now and make it.
don't know about that.
Prove me wrong.
Okay, we
No.
call Bryce. Hey, Bryce, can you quit real quick and wait 5 years? Thanks.
Yeah, you would probably like him to quit.
I like Bryce. I wish he was a Brave. I just think he's overpaid. But now he's not compared to Vlad. So
That's a cheap deal.
times they are a changing. All righty, so there we go. We're going to go to everybody's favorite segment once again with our groundkeeper.
Yeah,
Groundkeeper.
we got another episode
Reinstate.
here of Appreciate or Reinstate, which is where we look at things that used to be a part of the game and do we appreciate that it used to be in the past, or do we, through massive online and social media influence, try to get these things reinstated into the game? And we got a good one today. We got a good one today, especially with the past few years and some things that have happened that are like outside of the game, but a part of the game. That'll make sense when we finally get there. But um, you
No, it's
gotta
perfect.
you gotta build these things up, right? So with that, I have a story, but I'm not gonna tell the story. I'm gonna have our rover tell the story. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jay Lee. This is and you guys, our listeners, I know we had a lot of faithful ones out there who've listened to all 71 episodes. This story
Front
might
to
have been
back and
told
back, front
once,
to back.
but it's a good one. So, was this the first time you met me, or maybe just like the first time we hung out? You tell the story, Jaylee.
To answer that question, it's the first time I ever met you.
Okay, that makes it even better.
So to preface, before I tell the story, like I knew of the Otwell family because I think my cousin Cole and your brother hung out a little bit or knew each other and whatnot. So I knew of the Otwells, but
Hmm.
the first time I met Joe, ladies and gentlemen, was when him, Aaron, and did Zabel live with you at the time?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So those two lived together on a little house in Pittsfield, Illinois. And me, Corey, was Gavin there?
I
That's where it
feel
gets
like he
blurred.
probably
I
was.
think he was. So me, Gavin, and Corey were one. Aaron was our baseball coach. But we also went to his youth ministry. It was Monday Night Football, and we came over to watch it. Now I don't know if you guys know. I'm sure you guys have heard that one person on here is a diehard Buffalo Bills fan, and emphasis on the word "die" by pretty much everybody else around him, and except for uh, yeah. But anyway, so we go there. We're all just hanging out. We're having a good time. Uh, if I remember, and this probably happened. I don't know the exact quote, but Aaron warned us. Okay, Aaron is like, we're gonna watch this game, but you guys cannot say anything to Joe. And we were young kids, and we were like, yeah, whatever, okay, whatever. So long story short, the game's going on uh, in typical Bills fashion. They were playing really well. It was against the Patriots. They were playing really well. And then the fourth quarter came, and all I remember is I'm like, man, Joe should be happy about this. And he's just like, they're gonna blow it. They always do. And I remember, I think it was a kickoff. Okay, I'm right. It was a kickoff, and I forgot who was returning it, but fumbled the
Leotis
ball.
McKelvin.
Okay, see, Joe has
As the
exact.
kickoff, before the kickoff, I said he's going to fumble this return. The Patriots are going to
That's
get the
right.
ball and win.
That's right. He did say that, and I'm like, no, there's no way. So fumbled the ball. Patriots got it. They won. Uh, the lone soldier that day was a bottle of ketchup sitting on the coffee table, and Joe Hulk smashed it and blew it up, and then uh, ran into his bedroom, and you just hear things getting thrown around, and Aaron was like, "Yeah, you guys might just want to go ahead and go." And that was the
Oh
first time I
man.
met Joe, and we've been friends ever since. I don't know if that's I don't know if
he
that
did
says I don't know what that says about me, but
he didn't
I,
resurface for like 2 hours that day. And he comes out. He has this nice, cool little Buffalo Bills tin trash can that's about, I don't know, 2 feet tall. You set it by your office desk. And he comes out 2 hours later and just walks that straight to the trash can outside. And it's just flat and smashed.
I think what this says is, am I a rage monster sometimes? Yes, but I must have some redeeming qualities that you all have stayed by me. I don't know. It's not my
you're
good
also
looks, that's for
it's
sure.
also a good time.
Yeah. Okay, well, where we're going with that story is I get that raged out on something that at the end of the day doesn't really matter. Yes. But at the end of the next day, does it really matter? No, it doesn't matter. So I'm in the past few years, sports betting has become huge. These apps, these sites, I most of my friends do it. Um, I, however, do not do it. I tell people I destroy things when I have no money on the line. And
Oh
you
my
want me to put
goodness.
money on the line? So on this episode of Appreciate or Reinstate, and this was one of the earlier, for obvious reasons, right? This was one of the earliest rules put into place. But um, back in the 1800s, got to remember how old baseball is, people. The rule of, and I'll read it word for word here. Any player, umpire, or scorer who gambles on a game he takes part in shall be expelled from his club and the National Association. So I pose the question, and I'm going to state the obvious of no, you can't bet against your team. That's too obvious of, oh, he just went over four with 4Ks. But if we make it like public, what the, riddle me this. This sounds pretty good. Shohei walks to the plate. Sorry, Shohei. I know you got a little gambling history in your past or your agent or something, but Shohei walks to the plate. He's got the 55. He's got $55 million on this game here that the Dodgers are going to win. He's up to bat.
I mean, yeah, the one person you pick, I'm like, oh,
Well, he's also the best player, so that's why I went with. We have a large Asian audience that we have to pander to sometimes. So my question is, do we again take out the obvious of you can't bet against your own team, but we get Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. We get more excitement to the game. I guess I don't want to state state the case or give you answers here, but listeners and Aaron and Jay Lee here, tell me your thoughts on putting some betting back into the game. Also, wait, real quick, listeners, I don't tell these guys what I'm bringing to the pod before, so you're hearing it at the same time they are.
yeah,
Maybe I should start, but I think it's funner just to make them think off the top of their head because that's usually when the truth comes out.
can't disagree with that.
Go for it,
So,
Jared.
initial thoughts?
Oh, you want me to go first? I usually round this topic home, but
Well, he
you know
was
me, dude.
freezy
Aaron,
when I said that.
Um,
That's all.
hold up, Jay Lee. Aaron, do you want to go ahead and chime in? Jay Lee,
Yeah, I
you're
can go ahead and go if he's freezing up again.
going a little cray cray over there.
Nate,
So this is an interesting topic
my
because
goodness,
this is gonna be a great episode. My Zoom won't work. Jared's internet won't work. Uh, Pete Rose's family is trying to get him reinstated again, and like if you let him in, you got to go back and let anybody who gambled in now that they're dead. You know, Shoeless Joe Jacks, all those guys. Um, so it'd be interesting if you knew what the players like. Think how much more pressure that would be. You got
Oh
some
man,
crazy
to the
gambler
max.
addict up there trying the game on the line, and he's got to come through. And not only does he lose the game, but he's lost his paycheck. Um, I don't know. I think it's better to leave gambling out altogether, though. It just changes everything. And it's funny that they're so anti-gambling, but probably their biggest sponsors now are gambling. Like Bally Sports closed, and now it's FanDuel Network. Like they're literally
Yeah.
streaming games on gambling owned websites and services.
Big,
So
obviously
it's
big money there.
yeah, tons of money there. Obviously, it's working for the game, and the players seem to be benefiting. But it's a weird, almost hypocritical take on gambling. So I would say leave gambling out of it. Although it would be funny to see to know like the ticker tape in the score, on the stadium wall is all the betting
Hmm.
odds going around for this pitch by pitch. Because some people do it pitch by pitch now. It's insane. I don't know how you
That's
keep it all
wild.
straight. I think Jared's back with us. I see his eyes moving.
Yeah.
am I
Let us know what
chunking?
you
Am I
think, Jay
back? Am
Lee.
I gone? Am I here? Am I live?
You're live, baby.
Okay. So obviously, you know, I'm gonna say reinstate. That's just who I am. But as I've been thinking about it, maybe the betting, like how, they say Pete Rose and they all did. Maybe the player just gets to bet on himself, and how it could work potentially is like we're gonna use Shohei again because he's the best in the world. Shohei's like, I put a $5 million bet that I'm gonna walk this at bat, and then he does. He gets $5 million. But if he doesn't, the team gets to take $5 million from him. So you can negotiate with your own salary. It gives you a little bit extra
Yeah.
pressure to perform, maybe. But if you don't perform, then the Dodgers are like, well, hey, thanks. Now you owe us $5 million of the contract that we gave you. Um, I don't know. It could be fun, but I
Oh,
mean,
I like that.
so that's the only way
I think
I'd reinstate it. You're betting on yourself, but there's got to be something that the team can take back from you, and you can't have other players betting on you because that could get dicey. But Just let the players bet on themselves. Like I'm Nolan Arenado. I'm gonna hit a game-winning home run today. Okay, if you don't, then you're cut off the team.
See,
You
I
know, as you're
think
saying that, Jared, it's like a lot of, especially injury, coming back from injuries or veterans, they'll have incentive clauses like you get 100
Mm-hmm.
plate appearances, you get more money. So that's basically what this is, only on the micro level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a
Like
good point.
every homer you hit, I'm going to give you $50,000, and then if you even call your shot, I'll double it. I
Yeah.
like it.
But if you don't, then you owe us $100,000.
Yeah, if you don't get 30 home runs or whatever this year, you pay us back.
I think that's a separate topic. I love.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hey, this is my opinion. This is my opinion.
Well, then I can't
I
reinstate it. Sorry.
no
You
no
just
no
told
no
Jared
wait
he's wrong again. That's two
no.
segments, two call outs for Jared being wrong.
I'm
All right.
saying
No.
I love like performance based salaries. That's amazing. I don't think we'll ever get to that, but that should be what it is. I mean, you want to.
You're talking strictly betting.
I'm talking betting, but I'm saying betting on. You probably have to do it just on wins and losses. If you say I bet I get a single, well, you're going to be trying for a single.
So
So
hang on, are you also talking like a ground ball to uh Brendan Donovan and he's got a bet on them losing to they're playing the Giants and he just launches that ball into the stands?
no, are you saying Brendan Donovan would bet that the Cardinals lose?
Yeah.
No, that was my upfront caveat is
Oh, okay. You
you
can't bet on your
can't
team to
bet to
lose.
lose.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you could see if you do. Oh, we're getting deep. If you do it, let's say I'm Brendan Donovan and I bet that Torres gets a single and now he hits it to me and all of a sudden, man, I can't quite move as fast as I once could
You just
and
pick
he
it
gets
up,
a single.
you're like, ah. Because you can't make an
Um,
error because it doesn't count as a hit.
You got to
exactly.
trip and
So
fall.
I think if you keep it just straight wins and losses, you could still hype the game like crazy, but avoid any type of nefarious um, of people trying to do certain things. Where if it's just winning, they're gonna play normal.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not gonna let me go full like bet on myself to lose the game, I don't want to reinstate it. If you're not gonna give me the full thing, because I mean that would be wild, right?
I want to bet on Jared to lose too. Can I do that?
Yeah, you should, because you would win that bet every time. Imagine Game 7, the World Series. Aaron
Ooh.
Judge is in center field, and the Yankees are finally gonna win it. But for whatever reason, he bet on the Yankees to lose this game, and he just takes his bat, doesn't even go to a bat with a bat in his hands.
Oh my goodness.
Or he's in center field and he's playing right behind shortstop.
I mean, the way they played defense last year, it could have been happening.
True.
Dropping fly balls left and
So
right
like
out
the
there.
Yankees, the Yankees lose the World Series, but Aaron Judge just won like $400 million. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Here's maybe a side topic to this. Listeners, let's question your morals too, because I know some of you and I'm wondering. Let's say you're on a World Series team and you're like on one of them 5-year, $40 million deals that you got it when you were young. What number, what number does somebody have to bring for you to purposefully suck that World Series?
Uh, I gotta. I'll tell you the number for me. Whatever it is gonna set me up for the rest of my life because once it's out, I'm gonna be toasted.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, what's the number? I just said you got a $40 million
Uh,
deal.
I got four. Is it guaranteed? So I already got that money,
I mean, it's baseball.
Yeah,
It's
MLB
guaranteed, right?
contract's guaranteed unless
even if I'm betting and they find out.
I don't know. Yeah, if you get suspended, like the Braves aren't paying Profar while he's
Hey, that's
suspended.
that. You better bump the number up then for that added risk.
That's true.
Okay, okay. Added risk, and I'm tossing the World Series. That's what the scenario is.
Yeah, as best you can. You're a regular everyday player on that team.
Okay. You're gonna have to. Oof. You're gonna have to give me like two Billy.
I was hoping there was going to be a B behind that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That would
Because
I
I'm getting ran out of town for sure, and I don't know if I'll even make it to my car, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
I
looking back at like the Black Sox, you kind of understand why they would because they're all working like in the mines and stuff in the off season,
yeah.
working 2 or 3 jobs so they can play baseball. So someone comes to you and says, "Hey, here's 5 years salary," but it's a little different nowadays. I'm with Jared. Couple Billies,
And no deferred money either, all up front.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
straight.
they're up to go buy an island to go hide somewhere.
Yeah, I'd want it in fives and tens too, no big bills. I try I
How
If I'm being
much would that
honest, I
be?
would that'd be
A
so
lot.
much space. Um I mean I'd like to say I wouldn't, if we're coming back into reality here, that I would not do that because if we have any young listeners out there, I mean I'm a semi-professional philosopher, so listen to this next statement. As you get older, you're going to realize that money doesn't buy um um like a better mind. So with that in mind, Aaron, get your face out of the camera.
It buys a lot of
Um,
things.
so with that in
I,
mind, I'd be
I
like,
could
my sanity is not worth 2 billion. But if you're throwing billies
probably get a
around,
better mind.
I'd probably be on board. There's a lot you can do for mental clarity with a couple billies.
If you get caught gambling
With 2 billies, I could get this thing
illegally,
turned
do
around.
you get to keep the money? Like I feel like they would confiscate, like the government.
Probably.
Yeah, I would think there'd be some type of law there that
So I need that
would get,
wired. I need that wired in my offshore accounts. I see that in the
yeah.
movies. I don't know what that means, but I see the movies all the time. So
It's like um it's like a bank on an island.
They would at least take 40%.
Yeah, and then give the other 60 to somewhere else.
all righty. Well, that was a
Well,
fun one. Thanks for bringing that up.
hey, and me and Jay Lee found out another one for next episode. So
Uh-oh.
hold on. As our friend Samuel L. Jackson said in Jurassic Park, hold on to your butts.
Oh goodness. Well, Jared's going to take us home with our weekend prediction. So hopefully his internet's holding up on him to get us through this.
Hopefully. Am I here? Am I live? Can you hear me?
Oh,
Go,
he
go,
froze
go,
as
go,
soon as he
Power
asked.
Rangers.
He froze as soon as he asked. I
All right,
think we
we better
lost
run
him
through
again.
this. Oh gosh,
You you
I don't even know
literally
why. Like,
did. Give it like 15 seconds. Your face.
Oh, we lost him.
Oh, I think he quit. He'll be
Oh
back.
gosh. All right. Well, we'll pick it up and go with it. Hopefully, Jared jumps back in with us. So last week we did our first weekend predictions of the year. Somehow Joe didn't miss one. Not sure what happened there. The Orioles and Blue Jays had a rain out, and so that series split, and we all picked Baltimore to win that. So since nobody won it, that goes down as a tie. So Joe went 4-0 in the other games. I went 3-1, and Jared went 2-2. So that's where we're at. And we'll see. I guess we'll have to wait and see if if Jared gets back on to do these. We might just have to pick him up next week. Um, we can add him. We can add him in the chart later, I guess. So Joe, I'll just kick it to you for the first one. I got
Yep.
Diamondbacks at Cubs on the weekend prediction. Diamondbacks at Cubs.
Oh
What's your
man.
thoughts?
You got Haley's coming back.
Yeah.
Diamondbacks at Cubs. I mean, the Cubbies are killing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, man. I mean, the Cubs seem to be on a roll, scoring runs. So, I ain't heard the Diamondbacks are rolling anybody. So let's go Cubbies, I guess. As much as I hate to say it.
Oh man, all right. I'm going to roll with the Diamondbacks. They've been okay. They haven't been on fire, and
How's
the
old
rest of the
PFAT
mission.
doing?
I really don't know.
I'll look up while you go to the next one.
Yeah. Do you see that fun clip I sent to you about the umpires there? Orioles versus Diamondbacks. Fly ball hit to the outfield. Gurriel slid, made a catch, but the umpires, not a single umpire signaled. John Boyd does a phenomenal breakdown of it. Nobody called out or safe, and so everybody takes off running like it was a hit. Bases were loaded. Mullins at third is the only one that stayed on the bag, and then he ran home.
Hmm.
O'Neill just goes to third thinking it's a hit. They throw the ball in, and they check at third base. Eugenio Suarez tags the base and tags O'Neill, thinking somebody's got to be out. Third base
Yeah.
umpire still doesn't signal anything. He points at second base. So they throw it to second. The second baseman catches it, steps on second, which O'Neill never tagged. O'Neill went halfway, paused, and then ran. The second base umpire calls him safe because he thinks it's a hit. It was just this huge debacle. And then they eventually made Baltimore replay it because they said the run wasn't going to count because they eventually called Cedric out going home. And oh, that was a good one. And so it was like a 10-minute break in the game with still the umpires never called out or safe the entire time until after the review. It was quite the disaster. So some tough luck in that game with the Diamondbacks, but they've been playing okay, so I'll give it to them. I'm trying to stall. Didn't know if Jared can get back in that quick, but I don't see him yet. So we'll move on to the
He's
next
here, dude.
series.
He's right here.
Is he in here?
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh, perfect. There we go. All right. So Joe picked Cubs. I picked Diamondbacks. What do you got, Jared?
Cubs,
Diamondbacks at Cubs.
Does it
Cubs.
hurt you as much as it hurts
Yep.
me?
Uh, Probably not. You probably take it a little bit more personal.
I hate it.
All righty. The next one is Cardinals at Mets. I was curious to see what you guys would say about that series.
Ooh. Hmm.
Cardinals at Mets, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What is a
ooh,
Met?
It's a Metropolitan, right?
So it's a person?
I guess so.
yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm gonna guess Michaelis pitches in this series against the Astros, so that's get him out of the way. I'm gonna go Cards, baby. Keep hitting. Mets can't keep pitching that good, so let's go Cards.
Yep.
Cards as well. You know what? I was leaning Cards as well, so we'll give them a clean sweep in our predictions and see
Nice.
how that happens. Then we're going out west. Padres at Astros. Jared starts off. Padres at Astros.
West with Joe West.
I didn't even write the other team down when
All
looking at
right,
this.
Padres it is.
Yep. Thank you.
You know, the Cardinals are playing the Astros now, and I was checking out their lineup. Um,
No bueno.
Pretty
Hasn't
terrible.
done much.
Um, and the Padres seem to be on. So definitely going San Diego here.
Yeah, I figured that'd be all three of us Padres. Just trying to get some different matchups in there. So we had Cubs and Cardinals already in our predictions, so I had to throw the Braves in there. Get all three of our teams in here this week. So Twins at the Bravos. Jared, what do you
Are the
got?
are the Bravos a new team or is it the Braves?
They're trying something new.
Are they the Johnny Bravos?
That would be awesome. How have they never had a Johnny Bravo crossover uni? Come on,
That'd be cool. And with that being said, I'm taking the Braves.
Who are the
Joseph.
Braves playing? Minnesota?
Twins. Yep.
Minnesota.
Neither team has played up to their expectations yet. I don't think.
Yeah, and as bad as the Braves lineup is, Minnesota's is worse. Is when's Strider making his first start?
He pitches Wednesday in Toronto.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Need to
Um,
make sure he's on my lineup for fantasy.
27 strikeouts and 13 and two-thirds rehab innings. So that's pretty good.
Not
Poor,
bad.
poor AAA guys.
Can you imagine?
yeah, I mean I think the Braves definitely have the ability to play much better, and I'm not sure. I mean, Minnesota has the ability to play a little bit better at least, but their ceiling's not near as high, so I guess I'll go with the Braves.
Sounds good. Of course, I'm gonna go Braves as well. So
I think if that's the case in the minor leagues, like, hey, Strider's on the mound today. I'm like, Coach, I'm not feeling too good.
yeah, pull the hammy. You haven't done anything yet. Yeah, it was a long walk.
I tripped over here.
All righty, the last one I thought was an interesting matchup. Both young teams. Athletics at Brewers. Athletics at Brewers.
I'll go Oakland.
Okay.
Give me the
I
artist formerly known as Oakland, to be known as Sacramento, to also be known as Vegas Athletics.
Oh man, I was gonna go Athletics as well, but I don't know if I can be okay with us matching on everything but one.
Well, what did you pick? What did you write down? You can't change it just because of what we picked.
I had Athletics, but I feel like
Nope, that's what you got to go with. You
all
can't
right,
change it.
you and Joe matched completely, and then I had Diamondbacks when you guys had
Joe?
Cubs. So, hey,
You're
did you
below me
all
now,
see
Jay
who was
Lee, but
National League Player of the Week last week?
Brendan
Baby
Donovan, baby.
Contreras was Player of the Week last week, but
Baby Contreras?
yeah, good old William, the one that still catches.
Not the other one.
Lucky him.
Hey, so the other predictions we had, just give a quick few little tidbits as we close. AL Rookie of the Year, you guys both had Jacob Wilson. I had Kumar Rocker. No need to talk about Kumar right now. But what are you guys thinking about Jacob Wilson out there, huh?
I want to talk about Kumar. That's what I want to talk about. What's going on there?
Him and
Yeah,
Harold are going out to eat.
yeah. He's still the rotation, but hasn't been great.
Wait,
Um,
you
good.
said never mind. I got to look up my guy because I have no idea what he's doing.
Batting over 300. He's got a couple homers. I think about 11 RBIs. So I
Only
like
two
the pick so far.
strikeouts.
I like the pick so far. I mean, playing a premium position, right, Joe? Shortstop.
Yeah, hardest position on the field. I I guess now's a good time. So I think I sent this in text. The Cardinals had to put a catcher at second base who looks like a catcher. Corey, you know what that means. So
Corey doesn't
that
look
did,
like a catcher.
well, but he knows what a catcher is supposed to look like.
That's true.
Um, Corey's 2 foot tall and 6 pounds. So just to show there's a lot of athleticity needed in the infield. I wish I would have picked up Jacob Wilson instead of the other two A's I did for my fantasy team because they're
So you guys are looking smart there. National League, probably none of us looking that smart. Jared and I picked Dylan Cruz, and he didn't get a hit for the first 10 games. But he's gonna looks like they're gonna stick with him. They're like, you're just gonna bat ninth, and you're staying up here. So Joe had Roki Suzaki. He's done okay, nothing spectacular yet. But I wouldn't be surprised if either of them get back in the Rookie of the Year mix by the end of the year. But slow starts. AL Cy Young could be fun. Joe had DeGrom, Jared had Crochet, and I had Max Fried. Crochet's probably been the
Freed.
best so far. What do you think about
Freed.
him, Jared?
Uh, Freed
Crochet's
hasn't.
easily been the best.
Freed hasn't been killing it. I thought I heard something about him
Fried
pitching pretty
had
well.
Fried dominated the Tigers his last start.
Oh, okay. So it's just his last
Yeah,
start, not
yeah.
overall. So,
11 Ks over
uh,
7 or something like that.
yeah, I think the reason why I picked him is you're probably motivated to get out of Chicago. Well, the White Sox into
Did you see him
Boston.
yesterday in Chicago?
Can you throw a complete
Dominated.
game?
No, he gave up a hit to the guy, one of the guys that got traded for him. got called up this weekend, and his first hit was against Crochet. So Crochet
That's
gave up
funny.
one hit, 11 strikeouts in 7 innings.
But yeah, he's probably motivated to be in Boston out of the White Sox organization and got that fat deal. So, I mean, he's pitching for a lot. So I'm keep it up, man. You're making me look smart.
Mhm. Joe, how's DeGrom looking? I know he's healthy, but I haven't heard much about him.
His last start, or I think it was his last start, because I saw him talking about it, how he was disappointed. He gave up, I think, like 4 in 4 innings. But looking at his baseball page here, he's 0-0 with a 4.3, 1.3 whip. So
Yeah,
not the DeGrom of old, at least not yet anyway.
expect him to get better and better as the season goes
I
on if he
would
stays
think so,
healthy.
right? Yeah.
Probably the funnest conversation year round is also in the National League is going to be the Cy Young there as well. Joe picked Hunter Green, looking like a genius. Jared and I picked Paul Skeens. What do you think about old Hunter, Joe?
Yeah, like I think what I said is you can't hit what you can't hit. And Green had a very low hits per nine last year. I mean, it's definitely a gamble to think like that it would carry over because he hadn't done great his first few years in the league. But yeah, right now he is. You can't hit what you can't hit what you can't hit. And
That's
according to
right.
this, he's first in the league in 3.9 hits per nine. So yeah, that's crazy. I don't know if the Reds will win enough for him to
Yeah.
get a bunch of dubs, but his other stats might look pretty awesome.
I saw a stat today that since July of last year, so basically the All-Star break, he has a 1 ERA, which leads the league. And then Paul Skeens was like sixth or seventh on that list with like a 2.18 ERA in that
Hmm.
same span. So he's been twice as good as Paul Skeens since the All Star break last year, which is insane. And the
Hmm.
fact that there were 4 or 5 other guys better than Paul Skeens since last year's All Star break is insane too. But I think by the end of the year we'll be happy with Paul Skeens. It's just Hunter Green's been all the talk right now, so it is what it is. I think we may have lost Jared again. He hasn't moved in a
No,
while.
sorry. I was just
Oh,
very,
okay.
I was contradicting. I was reading something about Paul
Gotcha.
Skeens. So,
You got something to
um,
add there
I
for
think I'm just,
Paul?
um, we talked about it off pod, me and Joe. Paul Skeens he's gonna leave Pittsburgh, right? Like that's the inevitable. So
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's just gotta figure it out with the 6 years of control that they have of him. But again, they're doing the same thing, and I know it's early. Don't get me wrong, I know it's early, but he's only averaging 6 innings per start so far. Uh, they're gonna let the wheels off this guy, personally. And I mean, I know against the Cardinals he got into some trouble, which is not to say about that. I don't know where I'm at,
Yeah,
um,
Paul
but I don't know.
Skeens third time through is better than most your seventh inning relievers.
So that's what I'm saying. Like they gotta, I think, let the training wheels off a little bit. But again,
Here's
I know it's early, so
here's what I would say. I think 6 innings nowadays is letting the wheels off. If you get like let's if you make all your starts, it's about 32, 34 times six, 180, 12. That's 192 innings. You get 34 starts, that's over 200. How many guys went 200 innings last year? Maybe five. I I don't know. I know it's
I'd
not
be
very many.
surprised if it
So
was 5.
now I was trying to look, but too many things. Um, so I mean, I think that is taking the wheels off. You're not. I don't think we're going to see guys with 250, 260 innings pitched anymore.
well, I'll do a mini appreciate reinstate right here. Reinstate bringing back the starting pitcher. How about that?
I
Yeah,
like it.
I mean,
A quick search here took me to ESPN. There were 4 guys with 200 plus innings. Logan Gilbert had 208 and 2/3.
my
Seth
man,
Lugo, 206 and 2/3.
Seth
Omega
Lugo.
Lowell.
Logan Webb, 204 and 2/3. And Zach Wheeler had 200 exactly. And then Nola was at 199 in the third.
Yeah,
Those are only
Okay.
5 guys over 195 innings.
Okay.
So there you go. Hope that's accurate. It's on ESPN. But yeah, I mean, most of those teams have a seventh and eighth and ninth guy that all throw harder than their starters. Pirates don't have that. So let Skeens keep going. But yeah, I'm with you on that. I think he'll be fine. We all had Bobby Witt for AL MVP.
There's time.
Yeah,
The the down year, you know what? He's
yeah.
still he has
None
some
of us
like
are squared
850.
there. NL MVP, Joe picked the obvious easy pick like he does for everything else. Shohei Ohtani hasn't pitched yet, but bullpens are coming along. How you feeling?
He had a he had a rough last week, I think, as far as like power numbers. He'll be fine. Um, yeah, he'll be MVP. That's easy. I mean, when you have an obvious choice, you go with the obvious choice. You don't pick you don't go with like some no-name third baseman who's reached his peak 2 years ago. Go ahead.
I just wonder how much Shohei thrived last year hitting, only worried about hitting. It'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see as he rehabs and he was so strict about his pitching schedule in Anaheim. I wonder how much that does affect because we've seen lately too the Dodgers like Freddie's still out. If Shohei's not the super beast that he was last year, hitting wise, as he's trying to pitch, it'll be interesting how that team plays out. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet against him. I just
It's kind of
wouldn't bet for him.
like if you're a car guy, if you're doing just paint, you're probably really good at paint. But if you're a paint guy and you're a mechanic, I mean, you're probably going to not you're probably not going to be the best mechanic if you're throwing some paint in. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
I never thought about it like that.
Jared, what you got for Tatis?
Beaston. I mean, it's good to see him balling out in San Diego. It's what they paid him to do. Um, he's fun to watch, and he's laying off the steroids, so that's a win that
As
we
far as
know
we
of.
know,
That we
he's
know of.
he's allegedly clean.
Hey, I'll take allegedly. Um, but it's kind of weird to see some of these players, um, like a Shohei and Tatis, who I think are batting at the top of their lineup, right? Number
Yeah,
ones,
they both leading off for the most part.
and putting up these numbers. It's kind of crazy. So normally, like players like this are going to be your three or four guys, but the game has changed. So can we? I know we none of us picked him for anything, but I think we need to give our boy little Mike Trout some love.
Yeah,
Aaron,
So
talk about it.
he's uh he's hitting homers. Batting average isn't the greatest, but he's playing every day. The Angels are in first place. They've been fun to watch, so good for them. I rolled out, of course. I had probably the most obscure pick with Austin Riley at NL MVP. Uh, Currently, he is earning it every bit of it. He had 2 homers, 5 RBIs today. He's currently on a 7 game hit streak, and in those 7 games, 6, 8, 11, 12, he has 14 hits in those 7 games. So that's pretty good, averaging two hits a game. Um,
Decent.
yeah, so the power's back. He's getting on base. I'm excited to have a full year of him. Hopefully a full year. I know it's the dark horse pick, but I'm excited for him. Any other thoughts, guys, as we wrap up this episode?
sorry, listeners. I'd just like to take the moment to apologize for my internet not performing. You pay a certain company to give you a certain amount of gigabytes per second, and obviously it's not working. So I think I might need to make a phone call. Maybe I'll have
Please
Joe make that phone call.
please click the link below, listeners, to offer up some funds for better equipment for us. We know we're worth it, or we think we're worth it. You let us know, and we'll see what the numbers come out.
Sounds good. All righty, guys. Well, until next time, don't forget to
Rake
your
your bumper.